Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. And congratulations to St. Cyr. St. Cyr says, got some good news as I walked in the door at work today. I got a pay raise. Hey, more money is almost always good as long as, you ain't putting your life in jeopardy or your freedom, right? Yep, that's what's up. That's definitely something to celebrate. Walking in the door to more money. Who doesn't want that? Right? There's nothing wrong with that. Right? Okay. All right. So let's start this off like this. So I added this in my community tab a couple days ago. I saw the intro. I thought it was intriguing. And so I said I was gonna watch it, but I was gonna watch it right before I reviewed it. And then Ole took it down. And Mr. Z was like, God damn. Okay, so I guess she made it for her Patreon or she made it private. And man, okay. But she reposted it, so Mr. Z got to listen to it, and I did a re-listen real quick. First, we're gonna start from the end of her stream. So within the last like 2 or so minutes of Ole's stream, Ole says to FD signifier. And so, for those of you that don't know, before we even get to it, I'm reviewing Black Men Address Cam Newton and Why Black Men Make Babies But Not Families, Ole and Friends. Right? Okay. So provocative title. I get you, Ole. I see you. All right. So, Ole says to FD, you be talking to these Negroes, and they come over here essentially harassing the women over here, and FD says, yeah, essentially those guys start feeling themselves, and actually Ole did not say guys, she said the INCELS word. So Mr. Z does, and Ole said, essentially it's the same thing that Chrissy has said, and I think Real Talk with Yeti has said. So they listen in to some of us, but they'll never, ever, ever, ever admit it in public, and they will imply things to let us know exactly which one of us they're referring to, but they're never going to say your name because they're never going to shine light on you. And Mr. Z said, Ole, I see you, Ole. Ole, you listening to your boy? Huh? First, I'll say this to Ole. Dear Ole, you being a Black woman, a Bahamian Black woman of Nigerian descent, we ain't going, Ole. Let's be very clear. First, shout out to FD and the brothers on the panel that were a bit more honest, just a smidge, just a teeny tiny bit about some of these dynamics and how even when the father is not with the mother, the father is still present in that child's life, often, more than often, in Black families. If you read through the comments, though, Black women wanted to hyper focus on essentially these niggas ain't bowing. You could read it how you want to read it. Mr. Z know what Black women are saying, and they're trying to. And this is the funny thing about Black women trying to trap us with they freaking mean. Anyway, right. Let's get into the important part of this conversation. Outside of FD and a couple of the other brothers in this stream, who were like, hey, there's different dynamics at play here. The white nuclear family, there's stuff that I agree with and disagree with on their breakdown of the white nuclear family and how this aids capitalism and et cetera, et cetera. There are things that I agree with, but a lot of it sounds like excuses for wayward Black people. Okay, cool, fine. Y'all already know where Mr. Z is going. What about the women? I listened to how long was this stream? And I listened to a bunch of Black people talk about only half of the Black people in the Black community. Huh? Let's be very clear. The brother that said Cam Newton has an extraordinary situation, or I'm paraphrasing, is correct. And with Cam, y'all lucky Mr. Z is not Cam Newton. What Cam is showing is I can do this and y'all can't. And FD spoke to this a bit. He spoke to this a bit, right? Which is, y'all said we can't afford to move like the white patriarchs. And Cam said, who can? which y'all don't want to add, and which because y'all are so sexist towards black men, y'all don't ever want to say anything that even sounds slightly critical of black women, can even be misinterpreted as critical of black women. The women that Cam is dealing with are maybe even not even low functioning or low value. They're making a choice. They would rather have the G wagon or the Bentley Bentayga and the Birkin bag in the condo in whatever downtown area of their city. They would or a house sitting on an acre or two. They would much rather have that than be Ole. And shout out to Ole, because Ole been doing, she been moving. She been moving over the past couple of years. I see you, Ole, on the Breakfast Club. She moving. Ole doing her thing. These women, that's why I put the first link up. What did she say? Yeah, y'all can pump all of that until there's $100 million brother pressing up on you. Huh? All of that stuff. It's the same thing. We say this all the time. All of this, what did Mike Tyson say? Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face. All these theories sound nice, ladies, dear feminists, dear black feminists. All you're saying sound nice. That's why Mr. Z says this. Women, namely in our case, black women, but women writ large, all these feminist women could pump all that anti-patriarchal, anti-systems of oppression, anti-male dominance talk all you want. And if I send Henry Cavill at you, if I send Chris Evans at you, if I send Chris Hemsworth at you, okay, some of the sisters only want a brother. If I send Idris Elba at you, if I send Michael B. Jordan at you, and he got $100 million falling out of his pocket, you're going. Huh? All you pansexuals, you're going. Huh? Let's be honest. Those dudes could pick off some of you even radical lesbians, you radical feminists. It's one thing to say something in theory because you never were presented with the opportunity. It's a whole different ball game when a 6'5", 250-pound NFL legend is pressing on you and be like, hey, I think you're cute. Shout out to Dram. Huh? All of what these women are saying sound nice. This is the issue, and Mr. Z keeps on saying it. We have a lot of outliers doing way too much talking, particularly on the women's side. Outliers doing way too much talking. Most women are going. I see that's why y'all hyper focused on Cam. Y'all didn't want to talk about the women that knowingly Cam Newton tricks them. They knowingly sign up for the Cam Newton baby mama package deal. And that Cam Newton baby mama package deal could say, hey, I want the kids at my home. I'll pay you $300,000 a year. You get a luxury car every 3, 4, 5 years. Just follow my program and we good. Right? We take family pictures. We take family trips. Follow my program and we're good. You already know I got the connections. I can make phone calls when our kids get old enough to get them into whatever school. Follow my program and we're good. Oh, by the way, this is a Reckless Streams. Reckless Streams. Don't put it in the comments. Don't put it in the comments. And what we're being told is, no, y'all want to hyper focus on Cam Newton, but of course you want to hyper focus on Cam Newton so that all the black feminists could get all their anger and rage out on a black man that they use as a patsy to beat up on all black men. And FD know that's what it is. And the other brother, I can't remember what his name was, a bit more hood, he realized that too, that black women are using Cam Newton as a patsy to talk about all black men. You see these degenerate men, they just be spreading their seeds. Ain't none of y'all say that black women have more children out of wedlock than black men. Ooh, Z, you not supposed to say that. Somebody prove me wrong, though. What do the numbers say? Uh-oh. Huh? None of y'all want to say that black men are more married than black women? Ooh, Z. Huh? I see y'all stayed far away from that. Huh? Dear FD, I see you, brother. I see you. I see you. I see you try to defend black men from sexist black women. I see you. I see you saying, you know what, Z? There's another way. We can do this without being antagonistic to the women. I see you, brother. You're gonna have to jab at the sisters a little bit. Yeah, you're gonna have to do it. Yep. Yeah, yeah. No, Z. No, 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 no. It's gonna be seen as sexist. No, Z. They're gonna call me patriarchal. No, Z. No, they're gonna call me misogynistic and misogynoir. Z. FD. There is no other way. I see you, brother. I get it. I get it. I get it. You can beat up on black men and just sprinkle just a teeny tiny, barely could see, barely noticeable criticism of how black women are going about criticizing black men, because that's how y'all frame it over there, huh? It's not gonna work. And let me tell you why it's important. This working. It's not gonna work. Hurts black women because black women starve because black men said F your community. If your community idea is that I'm clean up men to the meanest, snarkiest a-hole women this world has ever seen, yeah, I will step over her body on the streets holding my Latina girlfriend's hand, my white wife's hand, huh? F your ideas of community. If your ideas of community mean that I get to be heavily criticized, heavily insulted, heavily demeaned, and then y'all gonna try to pressure me to be cleanup men for these a-hole women. Brother, you think I'm speaking for just myself. You think I'm speaking for just the black manosphere. Brother, we're black, so you never know. We're black men. But brother, we got time to see whether Mr. Z is right about this or not. We have time. Both of us are young enough to see 20, 30 years from now and see if Mr. Z is right or not. Huh? 25% of newlywed black men are already marrying out. I project that to be a third within a decade. Black women will not be able to make up for black men not marrying them with white and Latino husbands, Asian husbands. That's not a real thing, but fine. And when Mr. Z says that, understand, I'm not saying that there's not black women that marry Asian men. I'm saying it don't even really register. It's infinitesimal. I think when they did the marriage numbers back in 2010 or something like that, it was like 9,000 black women, Asian men marriages, something dumb around the entire country, by the way, not just California. Huh? And Mr. Z might be off on those numbers a little bit, but it was like 9,000 when I checked to 2010. So let's say it doubled, it even tripled over the past, 15 or so years, 14 or so years. Huh? FD, you're going to have a honest conversation with black women. Fine, you don't think it's your place. Olay, you and T Noir, right? And yes, even Kim Foster and Julesy are going to have an honest conversation with black women. Black boys, black men are running into the hypocrisy of women wanting, shout out to Lion, feminarchy, patriarchy by feminist specifications. That's why your young men are not hearing nothing you're saying. Dear FD, I know you think, because you said it to Themis, that you made brothers like me obsolete and you worked around us. No, you did not. Because everything you're doing means nothing if you're not making black men marry black women. Ooh, ooh. It means nothing because what y'all are trying to do is have black men have this concept of community where they don't necessarily have to be in nuclear intimate relationship with black women. I hear y'all talk community and think community, and I'm watching young black men say, "Oh no, if I'm not getting a vagina, she could starve for all I care." See, that ain't right. And ooh, damn, ooh, ooh, ooh. You think y'all gonna install a sense of obligation to black women that these brothers have been being beat up by, insulted by, demeaned by, and being told she don't need you and she barely even wants to be around you? You think you're gonna get those same brothers as they become adults to have some sense of obligation to black women and to the black community? Yeah, and how's that been working for the past 60 years? Uh-oh. Huh? I see what y'all doing. And I'm saying the young brothers are not going to be able to articulate it, but their actions will show they're not with none of this crap y'all talking about. That whole, yeah, you know, being in the community and sense of community and community. I see y'all community and community. And how are those young brothers moving? Yeah, all of that sound nice. That doesn't mean that these average brothers, even the ones with non-black wives, are antagonistic to black women. That doesn't mean that. You know what it does mean though? He marries his white wife and he moves to the suburbs and he locks the door. Huh? That's what it means. He marries his Latina wife, his Latina girlfriend, and he locks the door. Or he has one or two or three kids from a Latina, and they're not married on paper, but they've been together for 10 and 15 years, and he locks the he drives to his um mixed neighborhood, right? Gets to his home with his long-term relationship Latina girlfriend that he has two and three kids from, and he locks the door behind him. Huh? FD, you have 800,000 subscribers. You haven't made us obsolete, brother, because you don't brother, you are the one with the. That's why I paused myself before I said understand, because I think that it's you have this worldview that completely clouds maybe a way that you could conceptualize this. FD, I am a community college dropout. There's a reason why I continue to stress that. There's no way I see this and you don't. The difference is you think whatever you're doing will be you and other people. If you could just get enough people to think and move like you can overcome, and other brothers and sisters can overcome black men that move and think like what, Z? Whether they're college educated or not, you won't. You won't. And I can say that confidently and a bit arrogantly because you think you can tell these brothers that the sense of community will override them actually having a black wife, a black baby mom, a black girlfriend, some fully black children. You think what the sense of community is going to fix that? You think young brothers watching these sisters insult them and huddle up all around the non-black men worth a damn, and the brothers that are like Cam Newton, 6'5" and 250, or the brothers that are worth 10 and 5 and $20 million? You think your average 60,000, 40, $50,000 a year brother is gonna say, you know what? I'll just wait here until Diddy's done with her. Oops. I'll just wait here until she realizes that Jay-Z is not gonna ever leave Beyonce for her. Yikes. Huh? I'll just wait here until Biggie dies and she realizes, oh damn, well, there goes that opportunity. Huh? You think your 40, 50, 60, $70,000 a year brother is gonna sign up for that? No. He's gonna get frustrated. He's gonna go through red pill rage. He's gonna come out of red pill rage and say, all right, fine then. Where's the Latinas and the white women? Where's the Asian women at? Huh? Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. Where the white women at? Huh? Thank you, Mr. Shook to you. Mr. Shook to you says, dang, 15 likes? Y'all tripping. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And y'all give Z 1 second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back, right? So this is a big issue. This is going to be a big issue. I'm watching these brothers talk all the way around, and that's why my title is what it is, and frame this conversation in a way where they never address that women are going to go. Listen, even women with money are going to go. Women with education are going to go. FD had this said something to me, and I'm going to paraphrase the first conversation we had, which is essentially, and because I kind of, in this area of the conversation, I kind of boxed him in a bit. And he said, yeah, and how many people have advanced degrees? How many people, and I'm paraphrasing once again, have degrees in the social sciences? And then how many people have degrees in this particular way? And what he was kind of getting at was how many people have been made to grapple with some of these more radical, and he's talking about left radical ideas in different concepts of forming family, of community, of race, of economics, et cetera, et cetera. And what I'm saying is, brother, if you can't make it plain, if y'all can't appeal to people's incentive and better nature, then you are wasting your time and breath. If you can't show them how what you're forwarding is going to net be better than what they have now, they're going to laugh in your face. And that's from a brother and on the left also. If you can't show them, if you drop this one selfish idea of family and then adopt this bigger, larger idea of family, is going to be a net benefit. If you can't show them that, you're wasting your breath. Huh? And I would argue that y'all have been defanging men writ large, but black men specifically, for a few decades, and y'all don't really appreciate or know how to tell the women, by the way, we are defanging the men to advance you, and some of you aren't gonna like it. Most of you aren't gonna like it. Y'all don't know how to, and this is where Dr. Scott Galloway or Scott Galloway comes in, and he says Porsche polygamy. Porsche polygamy, where a dude slips his wristwatch and you see the Rolex watch in the little Instagram reel, and the women go running to him. F all your ideas of the involved father who does this and does that. The woman said, oh yeah, we live in a capitalist society. The money will overcome that. Ooh, goddamn. Ooh, Z, you wasn't supposed to say that. Huh? Huh? So, and so FD, do you recall why you jumped on the conversation with me the first time? Because I was alluding to and I was getting to exactly what I'm saying now, that you're witnessing now, that secretly you just don't admit to yourself. That while y'all defang the men, y'all are not telling the women that y'all are defanging the men for the advancement of women. And this goes to the conversation you had with Tinor. And so when the women get their degrees and they've been in their career for 5, 6 years, and they're making good money, and they have the ability to purchase their own home by themselves if they want to, or they already have purchased their own home, and now it's like, okay, now it's time. I've accomplished a lot. Okay, now the time to find the ballerific husband that earns even more than me. And brothers like you, and sisters like T Noir, and sisters like Julesy, well, maybe not so much Julesy. Julesy is an exception to that, but she might actually say it. But T Noir and Kim Foster and FD Signifier and Foreign Man in a Foreign Land and Ole and all the rest of y'all look at them like, yeah, because y'all don't want to say it. By the way, we've been defanging the men for like 40, 50, 60 years. And for the advancement of you. And so, yeah, you might have to marry a man or end up with a man that earns less than you, that's not as degreed as you, maybe not as accomplished as you. Huh? Y'all let these women say, oh, they're not on my level, right? I'm looking for a man where I'm equally yoked, and you know what she means. Y'all know what she means when she says that. Y'all say nothing. Olay, y'all say Olay is a bit different too. She not all the way what Juicy is, but she a bit different also. I'll give her some grace on that. Huh? Y'all watch the ladies say assertive mating and all of this thing, and y'all say nothing. It would be a different conversation if y'all were actually talking to the women like y'all are chastising the men. But y'all are not. I'm tying this to Cam Newton, by the way. I didn't go off the reservation. So when y'all watch Cam Newton say, yeah, I have 3 baby moms, I have 6 biological children, and 2 that I'm pretty much adopted, and y'all watch him say that, and y'all watch the women say, oh, I would never, what I won't do, and you know they would. Y'all are not honest with the women. So you keep on chastising the men. Y'all are using Cam Newton as a proxy, and that's what one of the Hood brothers was saying on Ole's channel. That's what he was getting to. These weirdo women are using Cam Newton as a proxy to beat up on all black men. Huh? And if you go through Ole's comments right now, you'll see it. Because they love doing that. So y'all let that happen. The women. By the way, Cam could pull what he could pull because Cam Newton knows that most of you women are going. He knows it. I wish, see, y'all lucky Z ain't Cam. Cam was defensive with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and she was able to shame him. She would not be able to shame a Z if I did this. Absolutely not. And shout out to y'all on the panel that was saying, you know, shaming, and you know, she shamed him. Yeah, she couldn't put that on me because I would say it, and she wouldn't have a retort to it. With that low functioning, I wish, man, Z, you can't advocate for that on your channel. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, you got the right type of black women to be calling them low functioning, and they're working off of their low functioning state. That's why they signed up for Cam Newton's deal. No, they're being self-interested. You know, like most people, most women, ooh, black women, yikes. They did the math. You got the right black women that you said that about. That's why I put the clip that I put as the first link. She said it. She said, I think she said $100 million, but we know Cam is worth a bit less than that. I think 75 million or something like that. Either way, she's telling you she made an informed decision. To all of you who's treating her and like she's some type of child, like all of these baby mothers are childs and victims of Cam Newton. This young lady said it outright. For those of you that don't understand what Mr. Z is saying, if you click the first link in my description box, the video's about a minute and a half long or something like that, maybe 90 seconds long, something around those. It was like less than 2 minutes. And one of Cam's baby mamas, as a matter of fact, the most recent one, just outright said it. Yeah, all these women popping all of that stuff, and what they won't do until they have $100 million brother pressing up on them. And now you got to reconsider your whole life. Right? And let me say this to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, to Olay, and to others. You know how we make hypocrites out of y'all? We just showed the women that said, yeah, I don't want to do all of this stuff. Can I just find me a good workhorse that already did it? Oops. Can I just find me a man that already did all of this stuff that I could benefit from? Huh? Because I'll sign up for that. I don't want to work hard. I don't want to be Olay. I don't want to be Hillary Clinton. I don't want to be Kamala Harris. Huh? I don't want to be Susan Rice or Condoleezza Rice. I'm okay with being one of Future's baby mamas. Huh? I have these looks. I would much rather be baby mama number 7, number 8 to Future than be Kamala Harris. And what's wrong with that? And y'all don't really have an answer to that. Huh? Y'all don't really have an answer to that. Or do y'all, and Mr. Z's just too slow? Oh boy. Huh? And y'all give Z 1 second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Y'all give Z 1 second. And we're back. Mr. Z's gonna have to jump off in a minute again. I'm not ending the stream, but I'm gonna have to pause again in a minute. But yeah, so um, Ole said something interesting about Cam Newton and watching Cam Newton get washed, right? And saying, we call these men victims when they sign up. And I know she was because of what she did to the mayor in New York. I know that's what she was getting at also. These men sign up for these things, they agree to the rules, they get washed, and then we call them victims. Yo, the lady's far more educated than him, far more whatever than him. She know what she was doing, and let's be very clear. She said, I just want to have a conversation. He said, I'm here to win. He said what both of them were really saying. Ole, you are the attorney, ma'am. Like I said, we use words, sometimes the same words, but we mean two different things. The other part of that, sometimes we use different words, but we mean the same thing. She knew it was a debate too. And you could see it from attitude. Look how she was speaking in the beginning, especially. What, he was the only one that was antagonistic, man. If y'all don't stop, Ole, once again, Ole, this is why when y'all leave y'all little circles, y'all little leftist bubbles, y'all look like weirdos to everybody. This is why. Everybody knew she was there to wash him. Number one, just because she said conversation and he said debate does not mean that she wasn't saying debate also. Yeah, Z, I said it. Huh? Just because she used the words conversation, she used the word conversation and he used the word debate doesn't mean both of them didn't say debate. I said it. Huh? And y'all give Z 1 second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back, and we should be okay for a while. Still reckless streams, but we should be okay for a bit, everyone. Okay. All right. Um, so this is something that I said from the beginning. Like, it's not like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was really saying a lot here. She just was expressing the view that certain black women have about rich Negroes. They're sexist, they're patriarchal, they use their money to practice some form of white patriarchy instead of bowing to black women's ideas of what this should be. In other words, why don't you do what we say so that we can live vicariously through whatever wife you that chooses you? I had to fix that. Huh? Why don't you and somebody one of them tried to use LeBron as the example, and then the other one was like saying, yeah, LeBron is not the example. I'm not gonna put LeBron's business out here, but he was down here. Remember, LeBron played for the Heat. Y'all think LeBron was faithful to his Z? LeBron was handing out contracts too. Uh-oh. Huh? Like y'all, everybody gonna act like they didn't hear Pusha T? Huh? Dear ladies, men with money have options. A lot of them. A lot of them. The money will look. Unlike what y'all be doing with y'all money, these men use their money to live the life they want to live, how they want to live it, and the women sign on for it out of self-interest. Huh? Y'all are not gonna get men to just have money so they could buy nice things. That's not how we move. White, black, Latino, Asian, or otherwise. We curate the reality. Now I got the money and the status, or I'm gonna curate the reality I want. And the only thing stopping me is the law. Barely. Huh? We need to show them it's positive. What's positive? Okay, let me get this right. If they have too many children from the same wife, y'all complain. If they have baby mamas, y'all complain. Huh? Wait, what? So how is this supposed to go? I'm supposed to be a perfect lefty stooge and have two, three kids because you remember we don't want to leave too much of a carbon footprint. So I don't want to have like 4, 5, 7, 8, 10 kids with the same wife, or definitely not with other women. I can't do that. Okay, fine. Huh? Okay, fine. So let me get this right. I'm supposed to be worth some 75 plus $1 million, $100 million, 150, $1 billion, and have two kids from the same woman. Cool. No side women. All right. No outside sex. Cool. Drive a Prius or a Tesla. Have a ranch home. Be a super minimalist. Huh? Have a buy my wife a couple of luxury goods that she hides because she doesn't want to make it seem like she supports these these exploiting ass textile mills around the planet. Like, do y'all understand what y'all pushing here for real? And this is not so much Ole and FD, but they have signed on to this, and I haven't seen them publicly say, "Yeah, we sound weird." Huh? Most people are not signing up for this. Dear Ole, I'm going to say something you already know, Ole. Most women aren't signing up for what y'all talking about. They would jump at the chance at a Cam Newton. They would happily sign up for baby mama number 4. Wait, he said, what's that, a $250 million a year contract? Oh, yeah, I'm going. $300 million a year contract. Oh, yeah, I'm going. Oh, I'm going. Oh, yep, I'm going. Gone. As a matter of fact, they won't even tell you they're going. You'll just see the smoke, the tire, right? And the tire streaks on the ground. That's what you would see. They're not even gonna tell you I'm going. Meet me, right? So I watched a panel full of men, because this was a men's panel. Ole was just hosting it, and she said a couple of things here and there. I watched a panel full of men talk about Cam Newton singularly for the most part, and not the baby mamas that knowingly sign up for it. Cam Newton told you he want more children, so he could get another one or two from this baby mama, or he could find another woman. Let me say this: Cam's future baby mom probably did watch that interview, and it meant nothing to her. She's signing up. She's gonna sign up for that, professional or not. And this is much of the issue. Y'all can't stop people from signing up for this. Y'all can't stop women for signing up for this. They won't stop. The lifestyle. And what are you promising them or showing them that would make them not sign up for a Cam Newton deal, for a Cam Newton contract? And Trail says, how many baby mamas does Elon has? I think Elon has 12 kids from 3 women, but I think he was married to at least 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken. I think 12 children from 2 women, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all could shame Cam Newton, y'all could shame Nick Cannon because they care to be shamed by big mama black women, by Queen Earth Mother Goddess black women. Y'all could not pull that on Z. And Z don't even have any children. Y'all couldn't pull this on Z. Not Ole, not Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, because I'm going to go straight up the middle and say I do it because I can, and now what? And most likely my children will fare better than most children in America, not even just black children. My kids are good. More than likely, my kids will be in a more successful place in the next 20 to 25 years, 30 years than most children in America that are around my children's ages. And what? Y'all could pull that on Cam because y'all know Cam grew up with religious in the church. Y'all could pull that on Nick Cannon. You could pull that. You can't pull that on a Z. And it's not because Z is that arrogant. That's not what it is. It's because I'm going to state the absolute. I'm telling you what I'm going to do, and y'all still couldn't do nothing about it. Huh? Diana Ross had how many children from how many men? Go, ooh, ooh, Z, ooh, ooh, ooh. And all of those children are what? Pretty damn good right now. We know 2 of them. One of them is super famous, the other one a little bit less. We know at least 2 of them. Huh? Uh-oh, what happened? Huh? Right? Yeah. Listening to Ole speak, listening to FD speak, listening to Foreign Man and a Foreign Land speak, listening to the other brother, I think he was out of Pennsylvania, LGBTQ brother speak, and then the other brother, the hood brother, I can't remember what his, was it Mike? I can't remember what this brother's name was. Listening to them speak and talk around the women. I'm like, but Cam could do this if women weren't signing up. If women, if black women were telling him F his money, he could not do what he's doing. Obviously, there are women that know, yes, Cam Newton has 2 baby mamas. I'll be baby mama number 3. Cam told you he wants more children. There will probably be a baby mama number 4, possibly even a baby mama number 5. And they would have watched this interview. They would have seen Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and that would mean nothing to them. And what? If Cam Newton gets older and says, you know what? I have how many children from 4 baby mamas, 5 baby mamas, and now I'm looking to get married, a woman would sign up, a black woman who might have her own too. I want to be very clear. Not someone desperate and needy and starving, but that is attractive. No, that has her own also. Educated, has her own also. she would sign up to be his wife after 5 baby mamas. And y'all know it. What's the problem here? The brother was saying it. We have Genghis Khan. There have been men with resources that are extraordinary, and that women will sign up to be baby mama number 18, wife number 12. Now we're not talking so much about men's nature. We're talking about women, and y'all refuse to do it. The third baby mama, she got a little social media presence. I've been seeing her on and off for some years. She could have said, you know what? Nah, I'm sorry, Cam. I find you attractive. We could do some things, but you can put me on the payroll for as long as one of us decide until one of us decide to end it. But no, I don't know about having a child from you. She could have did that. She could have, and she decided not to. And y'all are too cowardly to go into why she decided not to. She signed the Cam Newton contract. She signed the Cam Newton contract knowing that Cam took that Bentley back from one of the ex baby mamas. She signed the Cam Newton contract. What's the problem? Exceedingly attractive men, exceedingly charismatic men, and exceedingly resource-rich men have always had women at their disposal, because most women said, I don't want to do what those other women are doing. I don't want to toil. And if I do toil, I don't want to need to toil. Huh? And here's the part that I need to stress. More women than y'all would like to admit, more women than y'all would like to admit would rather be a baby mom or even a legitimate wife number 7 to a rich man, than to be the only wife of a man that earns 70 and 60 and $50,000 a year. They would rather be wife number 9. They would rather be baby mama number 12. We all know it, but when y'all quote unquote critique men, black men, no one ever says that. No one even implies it or suggests it. Y'all stay a million miles away from that. The women that know that this man has a lot of children from a lot of women, and I don't know how often he's going to see my child. I don't know if he's going to show up to every birthday. I don't even know if he's going to remember every birthday. But the lifestyle, though, and the fact that even if he's not as involved, his resources are so vast, his connections are so vast, my child will need for nothing, and most likely won't want for anything except maybe for some time and attention from their father. That's what I'm saying. When you outliers speak, even if y'all know better, y'all never say it. Even if y'all know better, y'all never say it. Do you understand the position you're putting black women in? Black women don't have the resources, and the Golden Girls lifestyle is not going to fix anything. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. These outliers are doing way too much talking and not being honest about women's actions. And historically, look, we could even see that and FD knows better because he's sitting on T Noor's channel. How many women are like Ebony K. Williams? I got my money. I'm good. I have enough resources and enough connections. My children will need for nothing. They will barely want for anything. And I still want a man that earns more than me. And I'll settle for grinding my teeth to dust for a man that's on the same level as me financially. I'll settle for that and resent it. but I want a man that earns even more than me. Mr. Z is not just telling y'all that to have a real conversation with the ladies just out of some spite or some ladies. No, your sense of community, your idea of what community is going to fall like a house of cards. It's going to fall in your face because you can't get the men nor the women to sign up for this. You're definitely not. I'm telling y'all right now, you're not getting the men to sign up for it for you. What you think community looks like? A bunch of single men with no children doing for women with children from the same 20-25% of men. A bunch of black men with no children, no black wife, no black girlfriend, no black baby mama is going to do for a bunch of black women that he don't have children from and that he feels some type of resentment towards. You okay, fine, y'all trying to work on the resentment towards her. Y'all still ain't going to get them brothers to play community with y'all. They're not. Huh? I want to stress this again. Millions of black men with no children from a black wife, no children from a black baby mama, no children from a black girlfriend, no black girlfriend, no black baby mama, no black wife in the first place, may or may not be in a relationship with a non-black person. I said non-black person. And you think a bunch of those black men are going to play community the way you say community looks. And what evidence do you have of that? Ever in human history? What evidence do you have of that? How do you incentivize that? How do you incentivize men to have an idea of community and family that says, yeah, you won't be having sex with her, you won't have children from her, and she might have said some crazy stuff about you in the past and think bad about you now, but you're still going to tutor her son. Yeah, right. You're still going to be a father figure to her daughter. Where in human history do you see any evidence of that? Not only of that's even possible. Huh? Obsidian has it 100% correct when he says community eunuch. That is the perfect term. Where do y'all see in any group, not just black, any group ever that signed up for community eunuch, where the men, masses of men, signed up for community eunuch? 80% of us, 75% of us, maybe even as low as 70% of us don't have children, right? And we all do for the 30% of men that do have 2 and 3 and 4 kids from 2 and 3 and 4 different women. But remember, we never say anything about the women's behavior. We only get on the men. Where in human history has that happened? Now we know feudal era and different eras of human development, right? Where the strong man had all the women, the other men were forced to go along with that. Show me where the men voluntarily went along with that. The average man voluntarily went along with that without the system forcing them to. Show me where 60, 70, 75% of men voluntarily signed up to not have children and to not have sex with women, to not be in a relationship with women, but to take care of the children that the top 20 and 25% and 30% of men had. Where is that? Where does that exist? I keep on stressing this concept of community because this is what y'all are showing. And if Mr. Z is reading it wrong, then y'all are portraying it wrong. Y'all are explaining it wrong. Huh? We're not signing up for that. To hell with your sense of community if that's what it looks like. Black women get to go out here, do their LGBTQ thing, let some white dude or Latino dude pogo stick up and down their esophagus. Huh? Give black men the middle finger, intellectualize their misandry against black men, and then, oh, she's 40. She has 2, 3 kids from a random white dude, Latino dude, and some LGBTQ black women that, they did whatever in vitro and had this child. And dear Mr. Z, now Mr. Z, you could take care of her and the 3 kids from 2 different dudes, and then the LGBTQ. Wait, Z, you're not gonna sign up for that? You selfish. Mr. Z, you're not gonna sign up for that? What about community? Huh? White patriarchal capitalistic that. Huh? I want y'all to understand that when y'all speak, what Mr. Z just said is what we hear. Ole, FD signifier, foreign man in a foreign land. When y'all speak, the people that are not on the left socially, that's what we hear. The men that are not on the left socially, the black men. I'm not saying voting Democrat. That's not what I said. That's what we hear. Huh? And they're not signing up for that because you can't incentivize them to. The men are not signing up for that. Quite frankly, have fun trying to get the women to sign up for that. Huh? You got to give people some wiggle room. Huh? Are y'all really? Because I know some of you are having conversations with everyday people, right? But do you have every conversation with everyday people about relationships and intimacy and sex and marriage amongst black people? And after we get through all the niceties and the placating, right? And the comfortable part of the conversation, right? All the weirdo nuance talk. Because I hear you, FD, these things lack nuance. And yeah, you're right, by the way. To a certain extent, you're right. There is a nuanced conversation to have. There is. But that's not what we are. People are debating for points. People are debating to shame the other side into submission and to get along with their worldview. Y'all act like women are not engaging in this also. The goal for many women is to find the man. Look, I had sex and I had children with the guy I found attractive, but he wasn't ambitious enough for me. FD, I need you to shame these men that I still kind of don't want to help me raise these children from the men that I actually did want and still kind of do want. They just ain't signing up for the traditional family route. FD, that's what they're sending you here for. You could say what you want to say about, no, I worked around Z in the black manosphere, and I'm tired of these antagonistic men and these sexist men and these patriarchal men and these wannabe white patriarchs. That's not what the women sent you here, bro. They sent you here to shut people like Mr. Z up and to make us get down with their program, being the cleanup men. Huh? Do you not appreciate what you should be doing? According to the ladies, by the way, shame black men into a sense of community where the black men that didn't get black female attention, that didn't get the vagina, that don't have any children from these women, right? That these women mock and make fun of and scoff at and say, who wants to be with average anyway, too? Those men are supposed to turn around and then subsidize these women who are a sexual plaything for some non-black men. And now she want to be Queen Earth Mother Goddess after getting kicked to the curb. Huh? Black men are supposed to play community with those women, right? Ole, we're not signing up for that. The masses of black men, now that black women have had their microphone to talk without being edited by some white, multinational media company, now that black women have been able to speak for themselves and they show and say to black men the contempt they have for black men, yeah, have fun trying to get young black men to sign up for this. Once again, I want to say this. Most young black men might not be able to articulate what Mr. Z is articulating. They don't have no hatred in their heart for black women, their mothers, their sisters, their aunt, their ex-girlfriends, maybe. Maybe. They don't have no hatred for them. They just they're not gonna sign up for this. Huh? And you will see through their actions they're not gonna sign up for this. As more of them date and eventually marry out, you'll see through their actions they're not signing up for this. They're not signing up to be in a relationship with Ebony K. Williams. Huh? They're not signing up for it. Right? So, I wanted to come to y'all with that today. Um, I listened to FD speak, I listened to Ole speak, I listened to the other brothers speak, and I'm watching and listening to them talk around the fact that these women are signing up for the Cam Newton, I guess what you want to call it, stimulus package. There's a pun in there. They're signing up for it knowingly. They're informed. They're making an informed decision. Huh? They're making an informed decision. And more women than y'all would like to admit will sign up for that even though they're educated, even though they have resources themselves, they would much rather be that to Cam Newton or to Future or to Nick Cannon or to a number of any man, white, black, Latino, Asian, or otherwise, than be married to or be in a relationship with or have children from the defanged men that you think will sign up for this in the first place. The men ain't signing up for this. And the women said, yeah, I would rather practice, once again, Portia polygamy, as Scott Galloway has said, than be with those men that earn 50, 60, and 70. Is that all women? No. Is it enough? Yes. Is it enough to destabilize your society? Yes. Huh? So when Cam Newton said, and I'm glad he said that, and I want more children, he's going to get it. He's going to get it. Huh? And why wouldn't he? Y'all y'all are wild. Y'all are wild for this. I'm listening to y'all talk, and y'all talking like the women ain't signing up for this. Once again, this is a very feminist lens. When black men mess up, you focus on it's black men messing up. When black men mess up, you hyper focus and you make sure to emphasize black man, black men. And if it's a black man, you use him as proxy to get on all black men, no matter how extreme his situation is, no matter how extreme his behavior was or is. You make sure to use that individual black man as a proxy to beat up on all black men. When a black woman messes up or when black women are misbehaving, you say black people, oh goddamn Z. And that's if you mention it at all. Huh? If you mention it at all, if our society, if the black community mentions how a black woman or a number of black women are misbehaving, we say black people. Because the second you start to emphasize that this is a black woman thing, now you have officially gotten into sexist territory, misogynistic territory, misogynist territory, white social norm territory, white patriarchal capitalist heteronormative territory. Huh? I want to ask Ole, FD, foreign man in a foreign land, and other brothers and sisters over there, show me the masses of black men signing up for that. Show me the masses of young black men signing up for that. See, y'all could pull that shaming tactic on young boomers. You could pull it on Xers. You could even pull it on some of the older millennials. Show me the younger millennial black men and the Gen Z black men en masse that's signing up for that. That's why they laughing at y'all ass. That's why they popping up to the family event holding some Latina woman's hand, some white woman's hand, maybe even if they could outbox the white dudes, some Asian woman's hands. That's why they're doing that. Huh? When we say anything about black men, we make sure to emphasize black man, black men, not black people. It's not black people when it's a black man or black men. Absolutely not. When it's black women or black women, then it's black people. Look how y'all winning on Cam Newton. Look how y'all winning on Nick Cannon. Nothing about the women that are signing up and that will continue to sign up. If Nick Cannon wanted to, he could put another 5 baby mamas on that list. If Cam Newton wanted to, he could put another 5 baby mamas on that list. And if Future wanted to, he could easily put another dozen without blinking an eye. I'm not even saying how many children they will have from these women. I'm talking about the women themselves. And every woman would know how many baby mamas he has, and they'll still sign up for it. Educated or not, goddamn Z. Have her own money or not. Need for nothing, want for nothing or not. I want to be very clear. These could be women that are not starving in the streets. They'll still sign up for it for whatever reasons they want. Whether it's the status of being a future baby mama, whether it's whatever stimulus package it is from Cam Newton or Nick Cannon, or whether, as Mr. Z has emphasized, it's because they would much rather be baby mama number 17 to Future than be a wife to your average man that earns some $50,000 a year. Huh? And y'all really don't know how to address that, because to address it would be to, in your minds, be a bit too critical of women's behavior, black women's behavior in specific. Huh? Because I saw in one of the comments for Ole's channel, one of the comments for the video for the stream she did with the men, some white person that said, you know, my brother has how many, I think he said 8 kids, or she or he said 8 kids from how many different women? From 3 women? 6 kids or 8 kids from 3 women.
and I'm white. In Ole's comments right now, if you click newest first, it shouldn't be that far down. Women will go. So I'm guessing that's a chisel chin. I guess that brother is either white brother is either super charismatic, a chisel chin Chad, or got a couple of dollars. The women will go. And I guarantee you, if that white man's young enough, he could add another 2 baby mamas on that list and another 4 or 5 kids if he wanted to. Women will go. They're going to go. This, once again, we're going to critique the men, criticize the men in public, chastise the men, shame the men, defame the men, say nothing to the women. So 50+% of the US population, 50+% of the world's population, we're not going to say anything to them about their behavior. We're not going to say anything to them about their misbehavior. We're not going to say anything to them about their proclivities that we're trying to change. We're really not trying to change. We're not going to say anything to them about their behavior, their whatever might be a bit more central to the way they move. We're not going to say anything to them. But to the men, we're going to wag our finger all day, every day. So yes, Mr. Z is saying, what about the women? You're absolutely right. Do we recall, once again, economically unattractive men are leading to a downturn in marriage? That's the women's perspective. And FD, you have already shown and said yourself, and so did T Noir. You asked the question, what am I supposed to say to the woman that has all of these things? She checked off all of these boxes, and now all she needs to do is check off the box of man. How am I supposed to tell that's patriarchal? And you and T Noir looked at each other and essentially said, I ain't going to do it. Brother, I told you that's how y'all were moving. I said it, and you told me no. Go back and listen to our first conversation, brother. I said it, and you told me no. Then you're on T Noir's channel and you admit, well, I ain't gonna do it. And remember what I said to you on the second conversation. I said, all right, FD, I get it. You don't think it's your place as a black man. What about the black women? And you said, oh, the conversations are having in private. You and T Noir looked at each other and said, not me. So let me get this right. Black female professors, right? Black talkers and black female talkers and thinkers and talking heads and pundits and social media critiquers and social media content creators, and they're behind the scenes letting black women know, hey, we can't move like this. This is patriarchal. We're trying to dismantle this. We sound hypocritical. Yeah, right. You and T Noir exposed what it really is. Yeah, we're going to continue to defang the men, and we ain't going to say nothing to the women. And so when the women turn around and have all of these things checked off and said, okay, now all I need is the husband, we're just going to look at her like, isn't the issue with men, with black men, is that they're too patriarchal? Isn't that the issue? Isn't the issue that they don't want to, do domestic labor? Isn't that the issue? Isn't the issue that he's too oppressive? The women are telling you, no, I want a man that earns more than me and has more status than me. I don't care. I don't care if I'm the queen of the universe. I want the king of the universe. And y'all look at her like, which one of us is going to tell her that we defame the men? Which one of us is going to tell her? FD, I said it to you, and you told me no, that's not what's happening. You told me no. While foreign man in a foreign land is calling us nig cells, y'all refuse to talk about the fem cells. Ebony K. Williams is a goddamn fem cell. Real Talk with Yanny is a fem cell. At one point, Kim Foster was a fem cell. Huh? Cynthia G is a fem cell, whether they're actually having intercourse or not. Listen to their rhetoric and behavior. So while foreign man and foreign land can make fun of black men and call us Nick cells, where are the black women that are saying, "Hey, ladies, we can't," even if they're not going to call them that, fem cells, black fem cells, say, "Hey, ladies, we can't move like this." I watched Juicy damn near get her head taken off by Chrissy when Juicy was like, "Hey, no, this ain't going to work for black women." And Chrissy over here making fun of her as some weirdo book reader. And there's something to be said about that. Because I would argue, as much as I might agree with Juicy over Chrissy, Juicy and other women like Ole, T Noir, Kim Foster, etc., because y'all are quote unquote educated and professional women, y'all don't appreciate how many other educated and professional women and how many black women and women writ large who are not so educated and not so professional. I want the lifestyle 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10. I want that man with that lifestyle 10 times out of 10. Yeah, but what about feminism? And they said, nope. Huh? And Kunguru says, and we'll pause right here. And thank you for the super chat, Kunguru. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Kunguru says, "Hey Z, does high value only equate to your bag?" So the way Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was saying it, I want to say yes, right? So high functioning, and I'm mistaking one for the other once again. But if I'm not mistaken, high value is obviously the money and I want to say maybe even the status, but that's high value. And high functioning was, how do you work? How do you function? Are you a good father? Are you involved? Are you a good husband? Are you a good lover? All this other stuff. So I want to say the way it was framed was high value is all about your resources and maybe your status and resource, how that type of conversation. If I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaking high value for high function. So you might want to switch the words. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, high value is about the money, right? The way it was being framed. Also, Ole was speaking about how Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was saying much of what Kevin Samuels was saying, but from a feminist bent. To Ole, I would say, if you're correct, then you're admitting that Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is another one of these women who says, "Oh no, Cam, get the money. Get the money. My issue with you is that you're not married to a woman like me." Uh-oh. My issue is that you're not married to a woman like me and that you don't have children with one woman like me. So Mr. Z is correct once again, which once again, Amanda Seals kind of, sort of said something like this also. Huh? And Ole said she felt like Dr. Shine Bryant was coddling Cam Newton. But wow. Wow. It's fascinating listening to sisters talk like that. And then at the same breath, don't appreciate why so many young black men are married out. To see Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and Cam Newton lock swords the way they did, and to see Dr. Cheyenne Bryant's son and shame Cam Newton, and then to watch Ole say, "Oh yeah, and by the way, she was holding back. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was holding back, and she was coddling Cam Newton." And then you wonder why 25% of newlywed black men are married out. We're supposed to marry someone like Dr. Shine Bryant and then be told, "Oh yeah, by the way, that was light work for her and she was holding back." And you wonder why this woman is 41, no kids, and never been married. Huh? Yeah. This is why they call us sexist and misogynist and misogynorist. Because brothers like Z say absolutely not, and brothers like Cam Newton, because they don't care what Z thinks. Z is some faceless nobody on YouTube. Brothers like Cam Newton said, yeah, let me go ahead and hand out these contracts for lifestyle for children. And I don't care what a Dr. Shine Brian is saying either. Ooh, ooh. I don't care what an Ole is saying either. Oops. Huh? Oh boy. Oh, did she? And Passport OG says, Z, you catch Brittany Cooper on Daily Show talking about INCLS? No, I did not, but I guess that's another think piece coming. Stream coming near you. Coming to you in the theaters near you. All right, Passport OG, thank you for the information. I will be looking that up. Right. Brittany Cooper on the Daily Show. Wow. As if that's too easy. Right? And y'all give me 1 second because I want to make sure I put it in my history so that I do not forget. I'm looking it up right now. I guess this is it. Okay. All right. Huh. Okay. We're going to continue to see this for a little while. And Saint Cyr says, isn't Brittany Cooper that Dr. Crunk chick? Yes. Right. And it's so many black women and women in writ large intellectualizing their misandry, but you know and remember, y'all, I want to say this, and this is gonna be Z, you did not say all of that to say this. Olay is one of the better ones. Hey, black women be so goddamn misandrous. Olay is one of the better ones. She's actually one of the more reasonable ones. Yeah, you heard right. Yeah, you heard right. Yep. When I said the bar is in hell, y'all think Mr. Z is joking. I'm not joking. Olay is one of the better ones. Olay might actually say something every once in a while that actually speaks to what black men are saying and thinking, and actually might push back on FD. Actually, will push back on foreign man in foreign land on a foreign man in a foreign land. Might actually push back on foreign, huh? The issue with Olay is she doesn't appreciate, I would say, how many black men are not signing up for this. You want to know why the marriage rate is so goddamn low in the black community? Multiple factors. One of which is that black men are not signing up for this. Not this, Ole. Right? Oh, Trell, you killed me with the dear God. Yeah, no, Ole's one of the better ones. Huh? Watching this, listening to them speak, listening to Ole speak about whoever it is, Mr. Z thought of himself, but you know, it could be someone else, obviously. Or it could be a combination of some of us that Ole said to FD, you know, you talking to these brothers or whatever, and then they come over here essentially harassing us, right? And so I'm not in Ole's comment section, so it got to be another brother, right? And Mr. Z channel is definitely super small, so you know. but I want to be very clear, and I want to say this to FD again. I've said it here today. I've said it multiple times in the past. FD, what you're doing and what you've helped Foreign to do, and what you've helped um um Lil Bill do, and a couple of other leftist brothers do, in getting their numbers up, going from 5,000 to 100,000, which is dope. And thank you for that. Thank you for showing that black men have a wide array of views and promoting leftist brothers. None of that means anything. And FD knows this. I got to state the obvious though. None of that, all of that is for naught. None of that means anything if you can't get them brothers not to have sex with black women, not to have children with black women, not to be in relationship with black women, but yet have a sense of community and idea about community where they still do for black women and black children that they're not having sex with and they're not connected to familially. Have fun with that. Have fun with that. If you think that you have made people like Mr. Z obsolete and that you have worked around us, you have not done anything until you could assure what I just said. Black men that do for black women, do for black children, look out for a community that they have no children in, that mocked them and made fun of them, right? Have fun with that. And based off of the fact that remember, we still live in an anti-black society. There's still just hordes of just a list of negative stereotypes about black men that spans the gamut. And yet, even with that, 25% of newlywed black men are marrying outside of the black race. We didn't even mention how many black men are not married to a non-black woman, but might have children from her or is in a long-term relationship with her. We didn't even mention, I don't think they have numbers on that. I don't know if they know how to track that. The theys, whoever the theys are. So have fun, dear FD, have fun. Trying to get these black men to sign up for whatever you and Ole and Kim Foster and whoever else is trying to do. Have fun. Right? I don't see how it's going to work, but okay. And Chuku says hypergamy works in the favor of the top 20% of men. This is the human condition worldwide. Yes, but you no longer live in a system where you can make the men on the bottom do. That's the thing. You no longer live in a feudal era where you can make the men on the bottom do. That's the issue they're running into now. That's why you have Dr. Richard Reeves trying to shame men into doing for women. That's why he said the whole what's real, man, is to overproduce. Men do more than just for them. He's attempting to shame the men he know ain't getting no vagina. He know that's not having children. He know that's not in a relationship with women. So yeah, and I've said it before. Dear system, dear elites, make polygamy legal, and let's see how long your system lasts. I agree with you, Shaku. I agree with you. I agree with you. The problem is you no longer live 3,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, where you can make those men on the bottom, the ones that's getting no vagina, then have to hire, we'll say streetwalkers. The men that have no children, you no longer live in a system where you can make them still till the land for the elites. Right? This is not 3,000 or 2,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, where you have what's that called, a Zanj revolution or whatever, the rebellion, where you're enslaving East Africans, and the East African men are looking over the hordes of women for the Arabs in the Middle East, their harem, but you castrate the men the black enslaved men that are watching over your harem of women. We don't live in that era no more. We no longer live in that era. And Chuck says we are in competition. There will always be winners and losers. And I'm all about the losers flipping the whole damn table and catching it on fire. Chuck, that's what they're doing now. 7 million of your men, not just black men, of your men don't work. 7 million of your working age men in America don't work. Right? I'm looking at a Maybach 62 on the back of a tow truck right now, you guys. Black one, nice, clean. Welcome to South Florida. Maybach music. Okay. And I'm back. Yeah, 7 million. Right? That's number one. Number two. Yes, there's a book written by Francis Fukuyama called Liberalism and Its Discontents. There's also a book written by, I always mess up this man's name. It's a South Asian man, Indian man, Pinkaj, and I can't remember how to pronounce the last name. That he wrote a book called Age of Anger. There's actually a mini, well, not even a mini doc, but a documentary kind of covering it, and they speak to exactly what Z is speaking about right now. Yeah, that's cute and all. Yeah, we're in the top 20% and we won in this system. And you severely underestimate how much the people that quote unquote lost in this game, lost in the system, how much they could upturn everything. Number one, by not participating. Quite frankly, if the men that lost don't participate, then the winners look real dumb. Can't win in a game of burning ashes. Huh? That's number one. Number two, both of those books speak to we have this system that's been going on for some decades now, and it's ground up the men, it's grounded up certain people, and we don't really know what to do or how to motivate the people that did not win and that are throwing their hands up. Our shaming tag, this is happening in China right now with the laying flat movement. The people that lost, you still need them to play though. Because if they throw up their hands, then the whole thing comes crashing down. And the shaming tactics and the quote unquote constructive criticism is not working anymore. It's becoming less and less effective. It's atrophying. Now what? The punishment mechanisms that systems use to punish people that don't play, even if they're going to lose, are no longer working. Now what? Huh? Now what? That's one of the issues we're having right now. How do you shame the men on the bottom to still compete, even though they know they're going to lose? The men that know they're not going to have children, the men that know they're not going to get married, right? The men that know they're not going to have the house in the burbs with the white picket fence. They know they're not going to get that Ford Raptor. I'm not even talking about the Raptor R. Huh? They know they don't have the money to start that business. And nor will they ever. How do you get those men to still play the game? Huh? That's what Dr. Richard Reeves is trying to do now. That's what Dr. Scott Galloway is trying to do now. That's what FD Signifier is trying to do now. Ooh, Z, ooh. Huh? That's what black women and women writ large around the planet are trying to do now. So what if we're not going to have sex with you? So what if we don't want to have your children? So what if we mock you and insult you? When BGS played a couple weeks ago, when BGS played those Chinese women speaking about the Chinese men going to find them foreign brides, and how easily the foreign brides are satisfied. Did you not hear the somberness in their voice? The somber tone? Oh, these men ain't want to play the game with me. They threw their hands up with Chinese women and said, fine, I'll do something different and something else. You didn't hear the song because they're saying, essentially what they're saying is, oh man, we can't hold these men hostage. Oh crap, now what? See, it's one thing if you got a monopoly on the game or a monopsony on the game. I think that's how it's pronounced. Monopsony or monopsony, right? One is about being the primary or the only provider of goods. The other one is being the only or primary buyer of goods, right? If you're the monopoly or monopsony, yeah. But what happens when I introduce another, and then another, and then another? Huh? So I agree with you that the women were always going to huddle on the top 20%. I agree with, like, I'm not, naive here, right? What I'm saying is, how do you account for an increasing amount of men, train tracks, right? And once again, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. How do you account for, and once again, Congruent, thank you for the super chat, thank you for the super chat. How do you account for a growing number of men that throw their hands up and you can't afford it? I want to be very clear. You can't afford for too many men to throw their hands up. You need them to have hope in not even faith, because, faith without works is dead. You need them to have hope. You need them to feel and think that it could be them. What happens when they stop hoping? Huh? Now what? Right? Now what? Thank you, Vince. And Vince is finna start using "I can't afford you" as my walkaway message. Shaku, what happens when we have a system that more and more Vinces who could actually maybe afford this chick say, no, you know what? I can't afford you. Instead of quote unquote rising above and trying to prove to her that he can't afford her by working more hours, by going for more promotions, better promotions at work, right? And trying to prove to her that he can't afford her, even though she's going to divorce him in 5 to 10 years anyway. Oops. What happens when more and more Vince say, you know what? I can't afford you. You're too much. You're right. A system can't sustain that. Now what? It's a real question. I'm not trying to be flippant. I'm not trying to be funny. That's not a rhetorical question. Huh? I'm covering Cam Newton and Ole and FD and the panel speaking about it to say y'all are taking way too many incentives off the table. So it's great that Chuck said what he said, because I get to reemphasize what I was saying. Y'all are taking too many incentives off the table. If we're going to hyper focus on the top 20% and say to hell with everybody else, get it how you live, get rich or die trying, shout out to Jason Black, shout out to 50 Cent. If we're going to say that, y'all think y'all are calling these people's bluff. What about when they call your bluff and said, you know what? I'm not going to try. I'd rather die. That sounds nice. You'd be like, okay, you're weak. Get out the way then. Yeah, that's cool when it's 1% of men. When it's 5% of men, what about when it becomes a 20% of men? What about when it becomes a quarter of men? Uh-oh. Huh? Can your system afford to survive? Can your system afford it? And can your system survive when we start scaling that number up of men that feel defeated, of men that are becoming more and more despondent? Huh? I see what FD is doing. It's not going to work. I'm tying that to this conversation and to Chaku by saying, you and FD are saying some of the same things. FD is just saying, hey man, don't be worried about the vagina like that, like that. And plus, if you're a good dude, she might go. Have a larger sense of community and obligation. The men are saying no. To you, Chaku, I'm saying, in a weird way, you're saying the same thing because you're saying, hey man, like, understand the top 20 is going to get this. Try to be in the top 20. And some of the men, young men, I would argue, are saying, yeah, that's too arduous. That looks damn impossible. Yeah, I'd rather throw my hands up. And y'all are saying, yeah, so okay, you weakling, move out the way. That sounds nice because y'all not thinking how that could scale up. You're thinking maybe 5%, maybe 10% of men will fall off and say, you know what, I'm just not going to compete. And you can mitigate for that. You can make up for that. What I'm telling y'all is going to go way past 10%, and you're not going to be able to mitigate for that. Huh? I'm saying there needs to be a system change and a structural change because the system is atrophying. And there's some studies that's speaking about economic or social dimorphism is atrophying in America. In other words, we don't have enough up and down motion pause, right, of people's class position. In other words, not enough people are falling off and they're locking in place at the top, which means they're taking a space up at the top, which means America is turning into old Europe. Oops. As a matter of fact, I think Dr. Richard Reeves has some study from the Brookings Institute speaking to how Britain has more upward mobility than America does currently. Britain! Do you not see how this is a problem? And I'm tying that to FD signifying Ole by saying, do you not see how this is a problem? Track the marriage numbers. Track the divorce numbers. The marriage numbers go along class lines. So do the divorce numbers. And if America's class positions are atrophying and becoming, stayed in place, they're staying in place, then how are you going to incentivize the men to do for the women that they know they're not going to get no vagina from and not have no children from? How is that supposed to work? Huh? And let me, before I even highlight that super chat, let me read this from L's Active. The L's Active and the LOL, I would dispute that. I'll try to find it. But yeah, that's what Rick Reeves said, and he's from your neck of the woods. He's now in America, but he's your neck of the woods. So I don't know what data point he's pulling from, but I'm just, reporting the news. I'm just telling you what he said. Right? So yeah. Right? Y'all gives you 1 second. I don't know. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Right? Huh. And Shaku says, you wouldn't feel this way if hypergamy is working in your favor. The Pareto principle shows us that 20% of the population is responsible for 80% of the productivity. This has always been the case. Sounds nice. You're intellectualizing. Thank you, because you're intellectualizing why the bottom 80% is like, oh, y'all run everything? Y'all the producers? All right, cool. Produce by yourself. Even if I take your premise, the bottom 80% of men increasingly are saying, okay, keep on producing by yourself. Huh? You're right. You got this. Huh? So even if I take your premise, then we don't need the bottom 80. So it's okay if they throw their hands up. Right? And when you say you wouldn't feel this way if hypergamy is working in your favor, so cool, I'm in a relationship. I was dating multiple women at the same time before I was in the relationship. I'm in a relationship not out of need. I do love my lady though. One of the best things to ever happen to me in my life. But it's not out of necessity. Not yet, anyway. Huh? So I'm saying this: if you know, shout out to BGS. If we're gonna do black pill conversation, then the black pill thing is more and more men across the planet, including in America, are throwing their hands up, and they're at at worst, they're living at home in their late 30s and 40s, either with no job or with a menial job just enough to pay their cell phone bill and maybe their car note for whatever, econo box they have. Or at best, they're minimalist and they have a career or a job and they're earning just enough to pay those bills and engage whatever hobby they have. And they don't care to have children or to get married because they feel like they're not going to have that or be able to fulfill that the way they need to anyway. Right? Huh. You need cleanup men in the system, and more men are saying, I'm not going to be cleanup men to Chad and Tyrone. I would rather be here with the Jergens lotion, and if at anything, when she's in need, I'll slide. Shout out to Corey Holcomb. I'll slide her to $40, right? Just to smash, and then I'm gone. More and more men are saying, I don't want Chad and Tyrone sloppy seconds. I don't want the top 20% sloppy seconds. The women are telling you that they're going to the club and it's full of women. The women are telling you, where are all you men? Why are you not showing up to these speed dating and mixer events? The women are saying that. Huh? So between Me Too, street harassment, all of these podcast shows that are showing the women and what they actually think and feel about the men, or whether they're putting on and they're doing too much, but still that's not the message the men are getting. Huh? And Passport OG says, and this is hysterical, a real man eats leftovers. Oh boy, not them leftovers. Right? If y'all could season um some good ground turkey, but Z's birthday is coming up, and ship it to Z so I can make my tacos. I'll eat leftover ground turkey with my taco, obviously making tacos again. I'll eat that for like 4 or 5 days straight. But outside of that, no, Passport OG, I can't sign up for the leftovers, right? Shout out to Mama Z. I'm about to hit her up for that ground turkey. I'm actually gonna call her when I jump off the stream, right? So yeah, yep. Mr. Shook to you, you hear me? And Mr. Shook to you says, best I can do is $40. Shout out to Corey Holcomb. Should have never let me hear that. That is hysterical. All I got is $40. But you ain't gonna say no to this $40, right? So what I'm saying is, if you get enough apathetic men, despondent men, your whole system comes crashing down. your whole. Let me actually read Eric Denman. Give me a second. Let me read Inspired Truth's comment first because it's speaking exactly to what I'm saying. And Inspired Truth says the bottom 80% build, repair the infrastructure. And once again, Inspired Truth, thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right? Trell, you see? That's hysterical, Trell. That's hysterical. Right? And Afro National says, Corey a fool, he keeps it 100. He's supposed to be coming down to South Florida in October, and me and my lady are going. Ain't no way I'm gonna miss that show. Right? The Trell says, by the way, for those of you that are listening that can't read, Trell says leftover tacos. Trell, I'm talking about the actual, well, you know what, Z, I can't even, I was gonna say I'm talking about the actual edible tacos, and then Z was like, well, the other taco is edible too. Right? For real. It's the way he say it. His drunk uncle, what's the word I'm looking for? It was right there. Shtick. There we go. His drunk uncle shtick is hysterical. It's funny. It's and you know the first time people like some of my coworkers and friends found out I was kind of into Corey, they was like, I would have never thought that about you, Z. Especially when I was at the law office, right? Because the way I'm dressing, I told you Z was fitted. I was a dandy as hell. I was dandy as hell. I like look, fitted as hell, posh looking. Remember, this is Z pre-gut. This is Z before the Rick Ross beard. Low boy, I'm over here looking like a mix of Miguel when he first came out. Remember, he kept his hair really, really short. This is before y'all knew he was black and Mexican mix. So I'm over here looking like a goddamn. Essentially, I look like Miguel in many ways. Um, and so when some of my coworkers found out I was in a Corey hookup, they was like, I would have never thought that about you. I'm like, he's funny, and he's telling the truth, right? He's funny. And I think Corey should actually be suing some of these people because the whole side chick conversation, he was one of the people to usher that in. And nobody was saying literally side chick the way Corey was saying side chick. Stand up, like comedy, and then it getting into some of the more pop culture discourse. Oh yeah, pre Corey Holcomb, that was not a thing like that. Like people said it, we knew, right? But like just openly out there like that, yeah, no. Right. And Shaku says the system has never been that 100% of the men reproduce. We are not all equally attractive to women, and he also says there is no equality in the mating market. I agree. I'm not. I don't think like maybe I'm the way I'm speaking or what I'm saying, how I'm saying it. I'm saying you're right. I'm saying, did you create a system that mitigates for the men that throw their hands up? What I'm saying is, where's your incentive or punishment mechanism to make those men who are going to lose, who are going to be part of the percent of men that don't produce even though they want to, that don't reproduce, better yet, even though they want to, how do you make them still work? And how do you make them still look out for women who didn't marry them in their prime, in those women's prime, who they don't have children with? There are a couple of men that are with women that are married to a woman that he has no children with, and that woman has 2 or 3 kids from a different man. How many men are going to sign up for that, though? That's what I'm saying. We know there's going to be losers in the system. We know that. My question is, how many men are going to sign up for a system they think, feel, in some cases know is not only rigged against them, that they will lose in? How many men are going to sign up for that anyway? That's what I'm asking. How do you mitigate for the men that throw their hands up? Because it's one thing if it's 1 or 5%, if it's infinitesimal. What did Trail say earlier? A rounding error error. Better, I said error. Error, right? That's one thing, but when you start getting into that 5 and 10 and 15 and 20%, 7 million men of working age are not working right now. That's too many men, especially if you're trying to compete with Europe, compete with China, choke China out. That's way too many men not contributing. And how do you, what punishment mechanisms do you have, or what incentives do you have on the table? Huh? You're low key mocking them right now, and it's not working. They have no social standing in society. They're recluse. They're somewhere in their parents' basement. Huh? They might be making money under the table and not getting taxed. What mechanisms do you have to incentivize those men to earn money legitimately so you could tax it? Right? What mechanisms do you have? We're mocking them right now. We're making fun of them. Or we're telling, yeah, yeah, you're not gonna have children. Hey, you're part of the 80% losers. Not all of you were meant to have children anyway. Yeah, you're right. And those men said, all right, watch this. How do you make up for indifferent, despondent, right, apathetic men? Leon, yep, he did say it. I should have. Thank you for reminding me about that. And Leon says, Z, so FD signifier is from the South Side now, and 50% of his followers are white. Yeah, and it bothers him. So he says, it bothers him. I want to be very clear, FD. And I think he knows, and I think it really is. It bothers him because I think he would like this to be a primarily, if not exclusively, black conversation. But FD, you have now transitioned into the lane fully of black feminists. So when you and foreign man in a foreign land, because I think foreign man in a foreign land, his numbers are not like FD's numbers. I'm talking about like the viewership numbers. How many of them are white and non-white? But still, he's getting I would argue probably a significant amount, maybe at least 20% white viewers. When y'all make fun of and mock black men and call us all type of sexist or imply it or suggest that we're misogynoirist, that means half of your white audience is watching that. So when Vince is on college campus and then black women are talking crazy about him, or when Vince is having a back and forth with his sister, a nice, good-hearted, good faith debate, and she started implying and suggesting things that he's talking to her like that because he's some type of misogynist or misogynoirist, and your white viewers are watching this, and they start saying sexist things to Vince or to any one of the brothers in this space, or maybe not even in this space. Do you understand how you have helped to fuel that? I told y'all, this is why Mr. Z says the things he said. You never know who's watching and listening to you. That's why that's why you see I'm somewhat tempered in how I talk about black women. I'm not FD, but I'm not sending y'all out there to hate black women. I'm not giving y'all a green light to mistreat them. Now, being indifferent to their plight, that's a whole different conversation. Right? But if you say half your viewership now is white and you have 800,000 subscribers, are you saying 400,000 people? 400,000 people, FD, are white of your subscribers? Give or take? Do you know how careful you got to be in the content you create now? And I think he does. I think he's going to miss the mark, though. FD's not dumb. We disagree with the brother, but he's not dumb. I guarantee you he missed the mark, though, because you can't help it. So not only are y'all waving y'all finger at black men for black women, y'all are waving y'all finger for black women at black men in front of white folks, and you don't see why so many brothers aren't in college. Uh-oh. Why so many brothers don't graduate college? Yikes. Why so many brothers aren't marrying black women? Huh? You don't get it? And this is a perfect time to read this. And thank you for the super chat. And Eric says, it's interesting to see men worldwide say middle finger this. F this. And thank you for the super chat once again, Eric. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Huh? Huh. Half your subs. I know Lil Bill got a nice size white viewer base also. And, foreign is probably growing some. Kim Foster got a nice size white female viewer base. Y'all talking crazy about black men in front of white folks? Yeah. But we're remember, black men are the face of sellout. Remember? Huh? Black men like us, black manosphere. Meanwhile, black men and black women are waving their fingers at straight black men in front of white folks, making whole video essays and think pieces disparaging black men in front of white folks. And if these white folks are consuming FD type of content and Kim Foster type of content, somebody want to tell me some of them are not the aides of politicians around the country? Uh-oh. Huh? The aides of lobbyists around the country? They don't work for certain NGOs? Yep, because y'all are helping black men, right? Okay. Community, right? Y'all doing all this community talk. Meanwhile, half of your subscribers out of 800, and I'm guessing because if he said 50% viewership, you know, only leads me to believe that about the same about the subscribers. But even if it's not, some 40%, let's say it's even 40%. Yeah. And by the way, this is how Kim Foster gets to be Kim Foster. Because if a good 40 some odd, 50, maybe even more of her subscriber base is white women, then she can rain terror down on Obsidian because it's not her, it's the white women. So y'all do what y'all always been doing. Weaponize white folks against black men. Yep, because that's what a community does, huh? Uh-oh. Right? Because that's community minded, right? Remember, y'all are the people that keep on shaming black men about this community talk. Right? Remember that. Huh. And once again, Eric, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And you're correct. Men around the world are giving the middle finger to this because what's the incentive? Shout out to Real Talk with Yanni. What's the incentive? What's the incentive? And that's why they try to shame you with the community talk, because they're saying the incentive is something, it's humanity. It's community. That's the incentive. And the men are saying, F that. F that. Absolutely not. And remember, this is the same thing that Skip tried to do to me when I was having that conversation with him on Diallo's channel. Are you in community, man? What about the community? All right. That's why them young Negroes is marrying out. 25% of newlywed black men. Y'all keep on shaming them with this community talk when y'all don't got no. What y'all got on the table for them? No vagina, high mileage vagina, right? Antagonistic, mean, snarky, rude vagina, right? Bussy hole, ooh, z, ooh, 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 ooh. A whole lot of shaming language, misandry and sexism, intellectualizing the misandry and sexism. What do y'all have for straight black men over there? And there you go. And there you go. Right? So that's why men around the world, particularly in our case, black men in America, are saying F that. Once again, 25% of your newlywed black men marrying out. You think you're gonna fix that with Ole and FD and Foreign and all the rest of them critiquing Cam Newton and ripping him to shreds? Because like Ole said, y'all look at these men as victims after a woman like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant washed them. I want to say this to you. Ole, Mr. Z is just intellectual. I'm just putting words to it. I'm intellectualizing these men's thoughts. No, we resent y'all for it. And we move accordingly. Huh? We resent y'all for it and we move accordingly. I want you to remember, Ole, they were speaking about relationships. I want you to because y'all are not really, and this is the fault of FD and a foreign man in a foreign land, because y'all didn't really explain, at least on camera, y'all didn't really explain to Ole how young black men probably saw that. Huh? A 41-year-old black woman that Cam Newton asked, why are you single? Filibustered the goddamn answer because she don't got an answer. Oh, yes, she do, Z. Yes, she does. Because she's an insufferable a-hole. But okay. Huh? Y'all don't, Ole, you don't really appreciate what young black men saw there. They saw a professional black woman, son, a multi-million-dollar black athlete, and they said, oh yeah, so we can't win. Not with black women anyway. Uh-oh. And another black man gets his passport. And another black man does SYSBM. All right, y'all keep on playing with it. Y'all keep on playing with it. Keep playing. Black women want the community to be ran by them. They're right. It's going to be ran by them and only them. Now, some of y'all understood what Mr. Z said. Y'all want it to be ran by you and only you? It will be. Huh? Leon, I ain't even going to read that out loud. No. Certain things are evident, certain things are not. Sometimes you don't got to say what's understood. You don't have to say it. Right? Huh. Once again, Eric, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And Leon says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Leon says, I sent a few people a clip or two. They think they can stop hierarchy from developing. Humans naturally develop hierarchy in every society. Lord, wow. Yeah, it's true. And I think that's what Chaku was kind of speaking to that also. What I'm saying is people understand, and men definitely understand hierarchy. But when the steep is so, when the tilt is so steep, when the mountain is so steep, number one, number two, when it's almost a guarantee that you're gonna lose at this, bad, Not that many people want to sign up for that. Definitely not that many men. When the people lose hope, or when the people are losing hope, you're in a dangerous place. You are in a dangerous place, right? Huh. Saint Cyr says, hit the like button or suffer the fate of being a community eunuch. Hysterical, right? And that's really a leftist woman's perspective, Leon, on stopping the hierarchy. Because now we're getting into like beauty and like what it really is. And so me and Chuck, who had a back and forth just now about the men at the top. But the super good looking women, the women that are not getting that much attention, they think they can find a way to mitigate for that, and you can't. Just like the men can't shame the women into being with them if those women are disgusted by those men, the women can't shame the men into doing anything more than smashing you and making you a 3 o'clock booty call. If too many men deem you as unattractive, that's what you are. Period. And you could do whatever you want, because you know what women do. They start doing the alternative thing. I'm an alt girl. Yawn, right? They start doing the different thing because they think if they do a different thing, then the rules will no longer apply. Huh? I'm an alt girl, right? They start dressing different, speaking. I don't listen to that type of music. I don't do this type of thing, as if that's gonna save them from the beauty standard. Okay, yeah, that's it. Huh? Huh? They think if they do the different thing and the alternative thing and the quirky thing, right? That'll save them or mitigate for the beauty standard. It's not gonna save you or mitigate for the beauty standard. Huh? So yeah, they will develop a hierarchy. Right now, blonde, blue-eyed is the hierarchy. You're not going to mitigate for that by continuing to, and I'm just using this name just to use it, to try to shoehorn in Lizzo as, look, there's alternatives, right? Everyone is beautiful. No, and y'all really, actually, let me say it how y'all say it. Every woman is beautiful in her own way. What's white homegirl from the Barbie movie name again? It's right there. Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie. You could try to make men pick, white men in particular, because you know that's really what it's about. Y'all could try to make white men pick Lizzo over Margot Robbie as much as y'all want. They're not gonna do it. They'll placate you. A couple of them might even sneak over to Lizzo for a smash session. They might. They might even chip a super wealthy person want to do something different. They might even chip Lizzo off some hush money. I said it to Charles years ago when Lizzo was trying to get at Captain America. I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Captain America, smash. Would he ever marry her? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Evans, you know, and if he didn't, it's because Lizzo is, you could tell she loud. She gonna blab. You better believe she gonna talk. Ain't no way Chris Evans give Lizzo some white schlong and Lizzo don't talk. But if it wasn't for that, maybe. Marry her? Absolutely not. So, dear women, you could challenge the beauty standard. You can. You can. Unless you're going to flip the whole white European beauty standard upside down, which you're trying to do and failing at it miserably because you don't care about what the men are saying. You think you can make the men change their mind by continuously pushing Lizzo in the men's faces, and it's not going to happen. Huh? right? So I agree with Leon. They're trying to, you know, do something with this hierarchy and kind of flatten it out so that all of these women can end up with a Henry Cavill. It's not gonna happen. Ooh, it's not gonna happen. Right? It's not gonna happen. Tika Sumpter is a gorgeous, dark-skinned black woman. Where is the super famous white dude that's married to her? She's married to the dude. I think he was on the show with her, and she was the lead. Come on, man. Huh? Lupita is with Joshua Jackson. Nobody, nobody was talking about Joshua Jackson like that since goddamn Dawson Creek until what's her name popped up with him. Right? Homegirl from Queen and Slim, Jodie Turner Smith. There we go. Ain't nobody care about what no Joshua Jackson was saying. Mighty Ducks, okay, fine. Dawson's Creek, and who cared about him since the end of that? What, did he make a couple appearances on some random shows? Who cared about Joshua Jackson up until Jodie Turner Smith popped up with him with her one night stand having ass? Black women and dark skinned black women in particular, y'all putting the white dudes on the map or reintroducing them to us. They be with y'all for a little while and then skirt off. Skeet and skirt. And y'all think what that's challenging the hierarchy, man? If you don't get out of here, you try to tell me the white dudes are doing now what they've been doing for centuries with black women, and y'all think that's challenging the hierarchy? Okay, yeah, that's it. I've had white men and I've had Latino men and I've dated, you know. You mean they smashed? They skeeted and skirted. Skeet, right? Skeet and skirt. Yeah, okay. And once again, Leon, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And Prodigy says $100 million pressure. Interesting, right? And that's what she said. That's what she said. We're talking about Cam Newton's third baby mama right now, you guys. That's what she said. So she said it's easier said than done. Y'all can say what y'all not gonna do and who y'all not gonna until you really have that dude applying that pressure on you. And let's be very clear what we're saying. This is not no grapey thing. This is not. He's doing everything you want. He's that guy. He's tall. He's good looking. He's charismatic. He has the money, the status. He's famous. He's athletic. Well, now what? You could say what you're not gonna do. You could say who you're not gonna do. Oops. Until that dude pop up on you. I don't care what. I got these principles and and I'm all about people being principled. But once again, what happens when I send Henry Cavill at your ass? Now what? Huh? Dear ladies, especially black women, all you pro-black women walking around here with the Africa earrings and the onk and all of that. Yeah, that sound nice. What about when I send Chris Evans at your ass? You still super pro-black and it's all about black men? Huh? For all of you anti-patriarchy, and I'm tying this right back, all of you anti-patriarchal and patriarchal and systems of oppression and anti-capitalism. And what happens when I send Cam Newton at you? Now what? When I said, see, it's easy to talk crap about Future until Future's standing right in front of you. Huh? Future is standing right in front of you, and now Rolls Royce Cullinan is right behind him. Uh-oh. And now Rolls Royce Phantom is right behind him. And now Lamborghini, now it's Revelto is right behind him. Huh? Now what? Huh? Y'all can mock and snicker at Meek Mills all you want. I bet you Meek Mills was a Diddy. What happens when Meek Mills is standing right in front of you and Rick Ross's jet is right behind him? Uh-oh. Huh? Tell me you care then if he did something with Diddy for real. Huh? It's easy to say it until these dudes are standing right in front of you. Because you are looking at a lottery ticket at that point. And you will never, more than likely, you will never, ever, ever, ever get that opportunity again. And no matter how much you work in your lifetime, you will never make as much as that person standing right in front of you with the money he has right now. And you know it in the back of your mind. How many of you are going to say no now? Easy to say what you're going to do in theory. Everybody got a plan until you get punched in the face. Huh? Sounds nice. Passport OG says 250K a year is premium skeet. I'm telling you, if Cam Newton is passing out, even if he's passing out $200,000 contracts, hey, get on my program, $200,000 a year, no matter what. I don't care if you're working, not working. If you make your own money, $200,000 a year, hey, get on my program. Let me have this kid, right? Kid live with me. You getting 200K no matter what. You don't got to spend $1 on this kid. Right? Thank you, Chief Rocket. Chief Rocket says, facts. They tried it with Drake. Hashtag hot sauce gate. Thank you. Eric says, like Melania King says, skeet and skedaddle. Right? Elle says, skeet and skirt might be the new motto. Right? And Mr. Shakti says, Alexa, play Skirt, Skirt, Skirt by Kodak Black. Now I gotta go hear it. Now I gotta go listen to it again. Haven't heard that song in at least maybe a year or so. It's one of his first. That was one of his first big songs, actually. Huh. And Passport OG says, and thank you for the super chat. Passport OG says, when you first started streaming, it started out slow. Then you started climbing, but it wasn't fast enough, I guess. So you gave you another style test. Okay, I'm lost. But it wasn't fast enough, I guess. So you gave another style test. Okay, gave myself another style test. I think I get it. I think. Right. But yeah, look, it's easy to talk like this. Um, what we're fundamentally, and I'm going to tie all of this in a nice bow. Fundamentally, what we're dealing with is women's interest in which part of patriarchy they want to keep. I continue to come back to this because this is a conversation that we're not having. We're going to eventually get there because we have no choice. It's the parts of patriarchy women are willing to compromise. It's the parts of patriarchy that most women don't want to give up. The protection provision part. And as hard as the left tries, and this is where the right got them dead to rights. This is where the right makes hypocrites out of the left when it comes to this particular issue. The women still want protection provision parts of patriarchy. Y'all could try to reframe it. Y'all could try to rephrase it. You can try. It's protect, provide part of patriarchy. To hell with partner. I'm looking for partner. Yawn and bleh. Huh? When I say patriarchy by feminist specifications, I want everyone to understand. Mr. Z looked around, looked at the landscape, listened to the women speak, and I knew that's what they were really demanding. I knew it. I knew that's what they were really demanding. Patriarchy by feminist specifications. I knew that's what it came down to. And so what you have now is a bit of admission from a Melissa Ford saying progressive traditionalism, right? And as the women keep on talking, they're gonna keep on proving it to you. And then they're gonna I'm waiting for the floodgates to open because eventually they're gonna say it. It's not enough. The dark skinned sister on Daily Wrap Up Crew that was like, what happened to the men that would provide, protect, and shut up? That's not enough. That's not getting numbers the way it need to. Eventually, the Amanda Seals are going to start saying it, and the Ebony K. Williams are going to start saying it, and then now we can have an actual honest conversation. Too many of the women still think the leverage is on their side. They got to come to because who was it? And it's somewhere in my history. A young lady was saying it was on one of these panel shows. I think men are really the prize. I mean, we wait for them for this and we wait for them for that and we do this and we do that. And look at the women fighting back. I'm telling you, she's ahead of the game. And those other women are going to have to come to terms with that. She's right. Oops. Now, don't expect them to ever say it. They're not going to verbalize it because they already stood on business. They already stood on no. I think we still we the prize. So they're not going to admit it in public because of their pride and their ego. They're going to have to come to terms with that. She's right. Right? Huh. They're going to have to come to terms with it. So that's the issue that we're having. Y'all are running into the wall of the women's hypocrisy. The Cam Newton having how many children from how many women is a glaring example of women's hypocrisy, of all the feminists and all their talk over the past 6 or so decades, and how you refuse to account for women's hypocrisy, women's dating and mating strategy. What you did was put the kibosh on men. You defanged the masses of men, and the women said, yeah, that's still not going to change what I want. We'll just fight it out for the top 20% of men then. We'll just fight it out for the top. And the ones of us that don't want to fight it out, we just rather be home with our rose toy because we don't want those 80% of men that you defanged. But ladies, we did it for you. The deal was that you're supposed to end up with them, and the women are saying no. So y'all come back to the men and say, okay, we got to shame you now to be part of community with these women who don't want to be with you, barely want to be by you. We need you to still do for her, but she don't earn enough. Huh? And if she got a kid or two from the dude that's part of the top 20% that kicked her, kicked off of Mount Olympus after the fact, we still need you to do for her and those kids now. Uh-oh. Have fun getting men to sign up for that. Because if you're not part of that, are you part of the community? So the LGBTQ brother on Ole's channel was saying, he tutors young men and he's really part of the community. And I remember thinking to myself, and that's exactly what they want, brother. See, you're LGBTQ, you don't really appreciate how insulting it is what women are doing right now. How absolutely, and FD gets it a bit. He ain't gonna say it out loud. Foreign man gets it. He ain't gonna say it out loud. But as an LGBTQ man, you don't really appreciate how insulting it is for women, black women, to say, I'm gonna have sex with those guys. I'm gonna have those guys' children. And then I want you, brothers, who I'm not really attracted to like that, to teach my children and to mentor my children. Do you appreciate, brother, you have it, and then y'all call that community? Do you understand how insulting that is? I'm not saying to force the women to be with brothers like me. That's the actually I don't want that. I'm not, Jordan Peterson. I don't believe in none of this force stuff. But with that, you don't get to claim community or what black men aren't doing, the masses of black men aren't doing it, how they're not part of community because the other black men, the ones on the outs, say, yeah, I don't want to mentor your son and your daughter. Huh? Yeah. You don't get to shame those brothers for not signing up for that. Huh? And once again, Passport OG, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And Els Active, thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Els Active says, do you think AI and autonomous robots could substitute men tapping out? They're already talking about it as if solution for the aging population. Ah, that's a good question. Excuse me. Yes and no. I think people want to be paused. Pause on this. I think people want to be touched. People want to be. People want to hug. People want companionship. People want intimacy, right? And I didn't say women. I said people. And so if we get to a place where with AI robots where we're there, and by the way, that's not happening tomorrow. This is still. It's not going to take them 1,000 years, but it's not going to be tomorrow either. But if the technology is good enough, remember men's threshold is low. We don't need that much. If it's realistic enough, once you start getting into the 70% of what a real human woman would be like, you're good. I would argue maybe even a 2/3. Once you start getting to 66% of sound and feel and just gestures and movement, and yeah, I think more and more men just start going in, and especially as it becomes destigmatized, because at first you're gonna be a weirdo. You're gonna be a weirdo. Oh, look at them weirdos with the robots. Oh, you're gonna be a weirdo in the beginning. But a generation after that, 2 generations after that, nope. Right? And especially, see, this is the fear. Should be your fear. Especially if you get men to be okay with, see, going back to what Shaku was saying, if you get enough men to, okay, fine, I won't procreate. I won't have biological children. Now you got a problem. Or if there's a way to gestate children in some type of artificial bag, so the father still have his seed, so it's still somewhat of his offspring. It just didn't come from a natural woman. It came from some type of bio bag. So now he could have the robot woman who looks the way he wants it to look, right? He can have the robot woman and he can still have his seed. Oh, it's over. It's over. It is over. And that to me is the science I'm speaking to. Once again, I don't think it happens tomorrow, but that is definitely possible. It's definitely possible. And now the ladies got a problem on their hands. Dear ladies, if you hear me speaking, you should be deathly afraid. It may not happen in your lifetime, but in your granddaughter's lifetime, oh yeah, definitely. Maybe not even in your daughter's lifetime, but in your granddaughter's lifetime, oh yeah, the science is going to be there. Now, will they BS men and say, oh no, we don't have the science and this is too far out and this is too difficult? Yeah, they might do that because they know what would happen socially to this society or to women, biological women, right? Would they lie to men about that? Like how they lied to men about, um, what's the term that it just slipped me. It just goddamn slipped me, right? Male birth control. There we go. Mr. Z definitely believes they're lying about male birth control. Mr. Z definitely believes they're lying about male birth control. That's my tinfoil hat conspiracy, and y'all can't get me off of it, right? I definitely believe they're lying about male birth control. No question. But going to what I was saying, um, yeah, when that technology is developed, women, biological women, oh, y'all gonna have a problem on your hands. Oh, you're gonna have a problem, especially black women. If it's anywhere at a price point where your average black man could afford it, it's over. It's over. You get to tell me, I get to have a name your beauty. Tika Sumter, freaking Rihanna, freaking Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, Bria Miles, name them. Keisha from Belly, right? Any one of these new poppy chicks, hood pop, whatever you want to call it, right? Any one of them. I could have my robot chick, my AI robot chick to look like her. Then I could, pay whatever lab to gestate my seed for me, and I could have a son that look almost just like me. And if I want a daughter, I can have a daughter also. Oh no, it's over. Once that price point come down enough, it's done. I don't even know what happens to humanity after that. It's a wrap after that. To me, yeah, it's a wrap. Right? Huh. So I hope I answered your question, Els Active. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right? But yeah, no, I think it's over. Huh. And of course, I mean, like, how do you mitigate against what Mr. Z is saying? Especially with the current flock of women that we have right now. Right? They're lucky the science isn't available. If y'all complaining about men not going to mixers now and speed dating and matchmaking things now, y'all lucky this at least the science isn't available at a certain price point right now. Right? Ladies, be lucky. Be fortunate. Right? Hmm. And Prodigy says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Prodigy says, a wise man once said, when the time has well, excuse me, when a time has, ninjas want you. Huh. Prodigies, I think I read that wrong. All right. Huh. They go to India for surrogates. It's like 10% of the price in the US. Oh boy. And Mr. Shook to you says, Mr. Z, are you saying male birth control is a possibility, but they refuse to release it to the masses? When I put on my tinfoil hat, yes. I think so, yes. Look at where we are right now. Look at the birth rate right now. It's 1.6 and some change in the US. That's with the oops babies. You imagine if there were no more oops babies? If male birth control was available, you pop this and it'll fix that issue for you for a week. Do you understand how the modern shotgun weddings, that's over? Oops babies, that's for the large, in many respects, that's over. Now all you got to do is worry about disease. By the way, that's still a thing, but and I think actually that would increase because less people would wrap up. But yeah, if you get rid of oops babies, and I'm not even speaking about how many men marry women for the guaranteed sex in the first place, and how many women are able to milk their husbands because we had children. How many women are, once again, as Tyree said, how many women are living off the child support money and using the child support as some type of alimony for this relationship? So you're stimulating the economy. There's a pun in there. You're stimulating the economy, and you're low-key flirting her because she's using the child support check for more than just the child. But what child? Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, no. Wait, yeah, I'm saying that. 1.6, remember, 1.6 birth rate right now in America per thousand? Yeah, major issue there, right? You imagine? Okay, all this crap that these women are talking. What about if Cam Newton was taking one of these pills? Now what? And Future taking one of these pills. Now what? And Nick Cannon taking one of these pills. And now what? Nick Cannon would only have his two from Mariah. Cam would have none. Future would have none. Maybe he would have stopped after Ciara. Now what? That's so many women that are living off of these men. Remember, there's so many women are living off of these men due to the child support. What happens when they no longer exist? When those children no longer exist, not from those women anyway. Huh? Now what? And y'all give Z a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. Reckless streams, right? But yeah, no, I do think that. I do think that you know, there is a we either have the technology for it and they refuse to develop it, or they did develop it and said, yeah, what we're not going to do is release this to the public. Yeah, we're just not going to do it. All right. So yeah, which to be honest with you, whoever the theys are, the technocrats, whoever they are, makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. When your nation has a 1.6 birth rate, the women are saying, yeah, I'm not marrying these dudes. They're not rich enough, right? Why would you then give the men the ability to say, yeah, I'm not having children with her. She's sexy. I want to pipe, right? But I'm not giving her the chance to have my child. Do you understand? If we're at 1.6 right now, I would argue we would plummet to maybe below 1. 1.1, 0.9. Oh, it's a wrap. It would be over. So yeah, I get it. I definitely get it. Right? Huh. Right. And once again, Prodigies, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And y'all gives you 1 second. And we're back. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, it was a little confused. All right. And yeah. And Black Uru says male birth control
radically changes the power dynamic between men and women into the favor of men. Yeah, that would be over. It would be over. It would be over. Right. That would be amazing. And I that's why I think they they have it, but they won't right. Y'all give me a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'm sorry about that. Y'all give me a second. And Chief Butter Biscuit says, and thank you for the super chat. We're back. And Chief Butter Biscuit says, watching in the past right now. Just wait until the guys that got money tell women they can't afford them, but she knows that he has money and understands the hidden meaning. Wear body armor, gents. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, that'll be. First of all, that's hysterical, and it says a lot. And get ready for all the type of you're selfish and these men don't want to. They don't want to contribute and they don't want to do these things. Get ready for that. And I would actually I would love that. I would love that. Men start emphasizing and stressing the financial burden that women are, which I would argue if men got it, they'll take that on. But what are once again, oh Z, you about to ask that annoying ass question, ladies? What are you bringing to the table? There's a number of things I would argue that if they line up for you right now as a man, you're you're impervious to these weirdo shaming tactics coming from women. And that's now in 2024. I would argue the technology will make it so that in the next few decades, you really will be bulletproof to certain women in their shaming tactics. You'll be bulletproof. See, if you say something like that, like what you just said, Chief Butter Biscuits, you say something like that as a brother that's worth 5, 10, 15, 20, $100 million, and a woman knows that you can afford her multiple times over, she can't do nothing with you, right? She cannot do anything with you, right? Huh, right? So that would be a major, major issue for women, right? For women, right? Huh. So yeah, no, I wanted to come to y'all with this. I'm about to wrap up, you guys, or end out. I suggest y'all watch it. And maybe when I have a next panel, y'all, anyone could come up and tell me what they disagree with, or what I might have said, or my perspective that might be a bit off. Watch this and see if you get from this what I get from this. And it's a bunch of brothers talking around, to me at least, the women in the Cam Newton situation, and also by proxy the Nick Cannon situation that signed up for this, knowingly, willingly, being informed,
and saying, yes, I would rather be Nick Cannon's what, sixth baby mama, seventh baby, well, in this case right now, sixth baby mama, or I'd rather be Cam Newton's third baby mom. Y'all refuse to talk about why these women would sign up for this. Right? Why? Leon says, Z, I'm off of work today. I don't even know what that looked like. Right? Huh. And that's the question. And I'll end that with that. Why would, and once again, thank you for the super chat, Chief Butter Biscuits. Shout out to the replay gang. Why would women sign up for this? And where are the think pieces about these women signing up for this knowingly, willingly, enthusiastically? Huh? So there goes something for you to think about, dear ladies and gents. And so on that note, everyone, we will pause right there. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content or the non-Manosphere content. The Roger Report should be streaming. I'm not sure if Dr. Thunder is still streaming. I doubt it. But y'all check him out anyway. So we'll pause right there. Love, piece of chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. And y'all have a great, 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 great rest of y'all day. All right, everyone. And Leon said I needed to use some PTO before it stopped adding hours. I'm getting close to that right now. Actually, I'm getting close to that right now. Right. So yeah, I think I'm gonna run it up. That way I can purposely take a week. Like, oh no, I needed to. Look, right? Look it. So yeah, so we'll pause right there, y'all. Y'all have a great, 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 great rest of y'all day. And Mr. Z out. All right, everyone.